So this year was interesting because we haven't seen students performing since their freshman year. If they're a senior, because of the pandemic, we haven't done a musical. So while we did plays last year, we haven't really seen anybody sing or dance. So we started this year off with a series of workshops where we had them meet Nolan and Livy, who do our music. They had the opportunity to sing through the songs that they'd be using for auditions. And then we also had Miss Jen come in and do a dance boot camp. And then I held some acting boot camps. And this was just to familiarize kids with the audition process, what it would be like, and to make them comfortable since it's kind of scary. For our acting auditions and our singing auditions, you were given the music, you sang certain measures for whatever song character you were performing for, and then you could pick a monologue that met or fit your character. So students came in, they introduced themselves during the auditions, and then they sang and they acted for us. There was an open call dance audition where they came in, they signed up, they got a dance number, the combination was gone over, and then in small groups they performed those dance numbers. At the end of that, anybody who wanted to be a featured dancer could stay and they would learn additional pieces to the combination, and they danced. Callbacks are a little bit different because they're open, meaning that anybody can sit in the auditorium and watch, and I find this to be really important because sometimes it's very common for students to think we have favorites, or this person got it because of whatever. So I think it's important that everybody can see and hear and watch and listen. So having everybody watch that process is important. We see how people interact together. This year it was a lot about the singing, since it's a jukebox musical, meaning they've taken all the songs of ABBA and they put it together in a loosely based script. So singing is pretty important. So we heard everybody sing, we heard people harmonize together, and then we cast the show from there.
Well, one, it's super duper exciting to just like see actually the cast and work with them. And two, this is my first musical like for real, especially like at the high school. So it's cool to like see the different setup. But also, this is like the early stages, so we're in the process of like really figuring out what our character is like, and like that whole character development process, which is kind of exciting.
That was 21 years ago. This is the first production I've ever been in, even the whole of Upper Perk. So it's I gotta learn how to act and stuff, and so that's been fun. I'm looking forward to seeing the whole thing together because so far we've only got to see our own scenes and scenes that other people practice at our rehearsals. So I can't wait to see how it all looks when it's all put together with the songs and everything just flows from one scene to the next. That'll be really exciting to me.
I've enjoyed getting to know, one, my castmates, as well as more the story of Mamma Mia, because I'll be honest, I didn't know much about it before auditioning. So getting to know my castmates and the musical I'm going to be in. I look forward to seeing how we as a cast can progress this story to its highest peak, how we can perform it as well as possible, and seeing how far we can go with it.
I'm just excited to do a musical in general again. It's been a really long time since I've personally done a musical, and Miss Austin does a great job with all of her productions, so you know, that's really fun. I love to sing, so I'm really excited to go and sing. Mamma Mia. What's exciting for me is I can feel myself improving. I've been training for a long time, so trying a new style of music is really interesting for me. So just this whole process of learning this new style has been, you know, fun.
Page 119, song number 6, Mamma Mia. Figured this would be a good one to start with. It works.
A lot of people that do musicals, like they have like the choir background and like they can read the music. And I think one of the benefits of doing Mamma Mia is that it's not your traditional musical, you know, like it's ABBA, like it's like, you know, it's like that 80s like funk, like you don't, like it's the songs you sing in the shower, so you don't need to be a trained singer in order to pick up on what we're trying to get done here. And I think it's actually a benefit to have those types of people in the rehearsal space as well, because you know there's people that are really trying to hit their notes, and there's people that are just out there jamming and having fun. So it's a good mix, and it works off each other well.
Right on. So like, take a chance on me, not take a chance. Okay.
Like when we started, like I thought we were gonna start from like ground zero, just like this is what a quarter note is, and like they've taken to it like so well. They pick up things at like as soon as we go over them, which is crazy because I know I'm not always the best at communicating what we're doing. But yeah, like in the vein of getting started, just like having people that are willing to go along with the crazy ideas I have.
Gonna do my very best, and it ain't no lie. If you put me to the test, you let me try.
So a lot of us figuring it out on our own, but it's nice because we have to all do it together. And like when we all struggle, which would be a bad thing, but it's really fun to figure it out together because we're always like in the middle of like breaks. We'll like start singing it, and we'll go, "Oh my gosh, we got it right." Going to districts definitely helped me like understand just music better. I found that after I came back, I was a lot better at sight reading, which didn't really make sense, but I was. So it kind of gave me like a position where I felt like it was okay, like when they asked me to help, like it was like they actually wanted my help. And so it kind of tightened all our bonds. It's like, I don't know, they came to me and I was really happy to share with them because I also experienced that at districts.
Lay all your love on me.
I like singing just in general. I guess one of the challenges is when you're a bass part like I am, like other people have like the melody part and you're singing one of the accompanying parts and they're not exactly how you think they sound. So it's a little hard to keep up with it.
Head on out there.
Locking, I think, is challenging right now just because it's like acting, but like acting kind of stunted because you have a script in your hand that you're reading off of. You can't make that connection. But Austin's really fun to work with, and like she has so many ideas that she kind of lets you in on.
There are times you're like, what? I think it's more like that because, yeah.
I mean, a struggle is just repetition, it's just memorizing like the edits to the script that sometimes we make of like where you should be on stage. Also memorizing like the stage left, stage right, knowing the difference. But yeah, it's just a good experience.
A struggle would probably be trying to like figure out your character, because when you're on stage, you're not yourself, you're a completely different person. So you kind of have to make a background for that person. So it's kind of difficult trying to like create the character so you can do the role really, really well.
It would be my pleasure to take care of all things.
It's definitely like difficult because like some scenes, like, they get blocked at first, but you find like different obstacles because when you're first blocking, you don't have all the props and like you just have a vision of how the set's gonna look like. So sometimes that interferes with how the blocking goes. So you have to reblock some scenes.
I understudy 3 characters. I understudy Rosie, Tanya, and Donna, aka the Dynamos, and because of that, I have to write down a lot of notes, and it's a little scary to miss them. But blocking is an interesting process because it's another time for ideas and stuff, but there's a lot of blocking that changes a lot. You'll write it down, and you'll start to practice it and memorize it, and then you'll go there the next day, and it'll be like, no, actually, we kind of want to change that.
I think blocking is definitely my favorite part of the entire process because I like the fact that you get to be more creative and you get to be very expressive when trying to figure things out. Well, I really like that my character is more like a fun character. So when I sing, I can like do my own thing sort of, and I've kind of messed around with my tone of voice when I sing, and I really like that. I get to be creative in that way.
Guys are usually an issue for us, and that's just high schools across the country that are not performing arts high schools. But the guys who had the ability to sing the roles, we didn't have any tenors, and Sky is a tenor, so that was challenging.
Personally, finding Sky's range, that's really hard for me because personally, I'm more of a deeper singer, but I've had to go up to the tenor range. So it's a big change. I've always been a bass.
Now every man that I see is a potential threat.
The one scene where we kind of introduce ourselves, not literally, but through the acting that we had to do, it was challenging to learn and to get choreographed because we have to move around on stage and then make it balance. And but there's also some fun parts, like in the beginning we get to do a little improv every time, so that's fun too. Yeah, I really enjoy that, and it's nice when it really clicks in because it did, and now we have it kind of set in.
Yes, I do. There are like 5 million mosques back in London.
Going to design a model, replica, whatever you want to call it, of the Eiffel Tower.
You ever look inside of a grapefruit? It's pretty cool too. Are they orange?
It's nice to see sort of the overall kind of growth from beginning to end in terms of going into the audition process and really trying to kind of picture these people as these characters and then really making them into these characters in the end. Oftentimes people think that we just cast it so well. That is part of it, but a lot of it is kind of getting to the point where they need to be those characters throughout the whole kind of process of the show.
I mean, it's fun because during the different scenes, you get to try out different things and different ways to act it out. And the only not really bad thing, you just have to run it over and over and over again, which can get tiring, but it's fun.
These kids are so willing to try anything, and a lot of these kids don't have experience in dance, so having that time for them to learn and be willing to try some of the crazy things that I give them, and there's just the enjoyment in seeing them get something they didn't think they could get, and now they are. It's harder to choreograph for people that have never done it, and a large group of this cast, since we haven't been here since COVID, have not really danced with me before, so it's coming in having to teach a whole new group of kids, but their willingness and excitement has been a lot of fun.
Dance rehearsals were really fun. They were a little hard to keep up with at times. The dance instructor is really, really helpful. The most difficult part is probably what the dance terms mean, because she'll say a dance term and then they'll be like, what the heck is that? And then she'll do it and you'll be like, oh, I can do that. So it's easy once you figure out what certain moves mean, and then when she says, oh, do this, then you can figure out how to do that and you practice it and get it down.
Hop, up, step, hop, jump, jump, kick, kick.
Well, I'll be honest, I've been dancing for like 13, 14 years of my life, so it does come like just like pretty easy to me. But it is different from stuff that I do in my dance studio. Like the moves are more like quick and like fast paced, which like is not always like that, but like it is a different type of dancing.
The featured dancers, you know, they dance all the time. They dance several days a week and several hours a week with me. It's been really challenging for them because they're not used to the theater side of it. But I also think that if you want to be a dancer and a professional dancer, even if you don't want a career in it, if you dance, you need to learn the theater side. They need to learn how to act while they're dancing, understanding, you know, they're used to just basic lights and stage, and having to dance around props in the middle of the floor that may not be there when you dance in a class. You know, that's been challenging for them.
Definitely a couple of the dances have been a little more difficult than what I had been used to from Adam's family my freshman year. But also with the full cast, a couple of the big like music numbers have been really fun to just kind of mess around and dance with everyone.
When it comes to the musical, I enjoy the beginning of every season because it's something new, and for me, I really enjoy building and trying to find ways to give the director what they want. There's a lot of problem solving, which is like the fun part. Some of it also is, you know, learning new techniques or consulting with you know, our shop people or even students who can do that. So the whole process I really enjoy, of getting it together from start to finish and then seeing the end product come together, which is usually absolutely amazing and beyond anything that I could imagine. What we have here is one of the two buildings from the Taverna. This here is the structure, the main structure that I built. Once we got the structure made, the magic people come in. So they ordered it, they went and did the stucco, and you see it on the pier, kind of looked like stone, kind of had been stuccoed over and kind of was falling off then through the time. We have painting, which was done by Catherine Shade, which was great. As we work through the process, a lot of the times we like sit in the audience and say, what does that look like? So you'll notice from the structures, especially as you go from old pictures to new, we now have the extension off of the building, which gives it something a bit extra. So there's a lot of trial and error and what does it look like, especially from the audience. So what we have here is what we call the Buckwalter House, because this was primarily built by the Buckwalter family on Saturdays. This is the main thing where the actresses comes out, they're going to sing, there's a lot of stuff that will happen here. You'll notice that we have kind of a small porch because being involved in this over the few years, I've learned a lot from my wife. Levels become very interesting on stage. So you'll notice we've got the dock, the pier, the balcony. So we did elevate this house a bit. What we have here is the pier, sometimes called the dock, and this, as we tried as much to do to actually save ourselves money, is we repurposed. So this was a wagon that was built, so to really reuse your structures in the theater, you kind of build stock equipment and then that are kind of modular, so you can adjust those every year, which over the years will then save you money. I really do enjoy the building part and understand that that's the foundation, but once that's done, that's just the foundation. To really make the set look the way it is, we kind of call it the magic people.
I was in drama last year too. I just did run crew, which was a lot of just in between the sets, taking stuff up and down. This year, since it's a more entire show altogether instead of 3 different shows, it's a lot more of just sitting on the sidelines, waiting for different transitions as crew. So a lot of my roles just include taking a trunk on and off of the stage, trunk that my friend and I built. So a lot of just right now, just building, painting. But once the show actually starts up, it's gonna be a lot of moving, sitting on the sidelines, being in a costume actually. So super fun.
My main project is to design and take part in creating physically the proscenium. I didn't even know what a proscenium arch was like before she asked me to do it, so I was like kind of confused. And she wanted something like Grecian, and I was thinking like statue or something. I had no idea what to do. So when I had like made that first drawing, I had no idea if it actually looked good because I had no idea what she was looking for. But she ended up like liking the concept of it. And I'm also on the team of like just general design choices, like hey, does this look good? Or like hey, what color, what would be best to like fill the space here?
I've enjoyed the costuming. I didn't do a lot of it, but I liked the fabric and looking at it. It's just like kind of stupid, but like I liked seeing the choices and watching everything get put together was like really interesting. I'm excited for the shows themselves because although it's stressful, I'm excited just for it to like play out and people to be enjoying it. I'm excited to hear laughter and all that.
Is a really like interesting role. It's something that's necessary in like pretty much any theater. You need a stage manager to keep things running smoothly. I basically do a lot of paperwork. I make sure everything runs smoothly. So it's a really rewarding job, I think. I mean, honestly, I see things come together at every single rehearsal. I see people make choices. I see songs and dances come together every single rehearsal. And it's just a really like surreal feeling, especially because I spend most of it up in the booth and I call the show. So I like watch everything happen from like a bird's eye view. So it's a very like interesting perspective to have, and it's just really awesome. And I'm super excited to see what happens.
One of my favorite things to tell people is, remember where we started? When the show opens, the #1 comment that I get from people is, oh my gosh, this was cast so perfectly. All of the actors were like perfect for their roles. And that's the magic of theater, and it's kind of like the inside joke with theater of how many hours go into it, but then you see 2.5 hours of a nice polished piece, or you think, oh well, it could have been, but you have no idea the progression.
I'm looking forward to like just when we can all like piece it all together and like see like all the hard work that we put in and just like be proud of ourselves for all like that we've done to like get to that point.
I think it's just like overall enjoyable because there's definitely a few scenes that I know that they're gonna probably laugh at, but seeing the audience and engage with the musical, you know, especially like songs where we're clapping, we get them to join in, it's definitely pretty fun.
What I'm looking forward to just see the whole thing come together, because you know you're practicing all these things individually. You're seeing like parts of them as you go on until you get to see that full thing in action. It's just like a big build-up of like excitement and motivation.
everything has turned out, and I hope all of you are too, because it's a great show, a fantastic show even.
I've enjoyed working with all of you. Sometimes it's really, really hard, and this year it was a joyful experience, and I think that shows in the production. I had a blast working with all of you. I know what's said about me. I know, and I know that, and I know that I push you guys, but I push you guys because you are incredibly talented.
I just wanted to say thank you, Miss Austin, for all you do for the production and just making my life so much better with these musicals.
I don't give a crap.
So I just want to thank every single one of you because I just love you all and it's been a great experience. Thank you to the Austins and Miss Phillips and everyone, and I just love you. Thank you. I'm good with all of it.
I couldn't ask for a better group of hooligans to pretend to boss around. I love you all so much and thank you for letting me be your daughter.
All right, hello, Upper Perk. Here we are with the Drama Cast. Say hi, Drama. Hi. I really appreciate all of you, and we'll make this show our best show yet.